To save the CEO, I fell into the ocean and lost my memory. She selflessly married me out of gratitude. But even after the wedding, she always pined for her long-lost first love. Now, with news of his return, she hastily handed me $5 million and said, "He's back. Let's get a divorce." I was about to get on my knees and beg her, but suddenly my memories flooded back. Turns out I'm the sole heir to a top family, and I have a fiancée, Arya, who was betrothed to me since childhood. Just then, Haley handed me the divorce papers. "Sign it. This money should be enough for you to live comfortably for the rest of your life," she said before rushing out without looking back. After signing the divorce papers, I picked up my phone and dialed a number. "Hello, do you know who this is?" The woman on the other end retorted, "Are you crazy?" "How would I know?" I raised an eyebrow. "Don't you even recognize my voice?" "It's Kyron." "Are you deaf or just arrogant?" The woman on the other end was silent for 2 seconds, then suddenly shouted, "Kyron is alive?" Her voice turned bitter. 2 years without a word. "I thought you'd run off with some girl." I didn't respond, only gave her instructions. "I sent you my location. Come pick me up." The next morning, as I stepped out of the mansion, a dazzling diamond-encrusted Ferrari pulled up. A stunning blonde with emerald eyes stepped out of the driver's seat and moved to embrace me, but I coldly pushed her away and headed straight to open the car door. Arya stamped her foot in anger. "You jerk. I flew all night from America to get here, and this is how you treat me?" I glanced at her coolly and said, "Drive." With that, I looked back at the place I'd lived for 2 years. I didn't belong here, just as Haley never belonged to me. I played the underdog here for 2 years, and now I have my memories back. I should find out who framed me and injured me. 2 days later, Haley returned to the mansion. As she headed upstairs, she locked herself in the bedroom. False information. The man wasn't her long-lost love. She had gone all that way for nothing. Just then, the butler knocked and entered, handing her the divorce papers. "Madam, the master has signed and left. He took nothing with him, not even the bank card you gave him." Haley frowned. "This man is so clueless. He doesn't have a penny to his name. He must be trying to play the pitiful card to win sympathy." Haley thought, "I need to finalize this divorce quickly before things get complicated." As the butler left, her assistant, Daniel, entered. "Miss Haley, Mr. Kyron is back." Haley looked annoyed and thought, so this man isn't that easy to divorce. Daniel shook his head. "No, the paparazzi photographed Mr. Kyron and Ms. Arya, from the American business giant, entering and leaving a hotel overnight." Haley's expression darkened. "He's acquainted with Arya? No wonder he didn't need the money I gave him. He already had a backer." Haley's already foul mood soured even more. She called her best friend, Tiffany, and arranged to meet at the City That Never Sleeps club. Across town, I surveyed the line of beautiful women before me, a satisfied smirk playing on my lips. Arya was upstairs in the VIP room on business, and since she was afraid I'd be bored, she had sent a few friends to keep me company. I swirled my drink and asked, "Sweetheart, how old are you?" The girls next to me giggled. "I'm 23, Kyron." "I'm 21. I surveyed the friends Arya had found. They were very beautiful, they were so much better than Haley. If Haley could divorce me for her first love, why couldn't I enjoy life? I smiled at the girl next to me. "Have a drink with me. If you make me happy, I will buy you a sports car." The girl poured me a drink and scooted closer. "Cheers, Kyron." Seeing my generosity, the other girls eagerly raised their glasses, competing to show off their talents to please me. At the same time, in the VIP room upstairs, Haley was drinking with Tiffany. Tiffany sighed, "Haley, you should let him go. You've been searching for that man for years." Haley had been looking for that man for 5 years and has been putting up a $30 million reward on the internet, but there hasn't been any news. Tiffany knew Haley's skills. If she wasn't able to find him in 5 years, there was a big chance he was gone. But Tiffany didn't dare to say it in front of Haley. Haley didn't say anything and downed her drink. Tiffany knew her, so she didn't say anything and changed the topic. Kyron actually agreed to the divorce? Everyone knows he fell for you at first sight. Before you got married, he wouldn't leave your side, and went through multiple pursuits. You married him to deal with your family pressuring you to get married. Kyron tried everything to make you happy, and gave his whole heart to you. Kyron loves Haley. How could he agree to a divorce so easily? Something is wrong. Haley thought about Kyron and Arya at the hotel. Her expression turned cold. Just then, Tiffany curiously pointed to the dance floor. Doesn't that guy look like Kyron? Tiffany rubbed her eyes. No, that can't be Kyron. Kyron could never be so handsome. Hearing this, Haley narrowed her eyes and followed her gaze. In the VIP seating area, a group of young, beautiful women were gathered around a man. He was lounging on the sofa, his long legs propped up on the edge of the coffee table, casually swirling a glass of red wine. He exuded an air of lazy extravagance. One girl enthusiastically poured him a drink, and he smiled at her with charm. Haley stared at the man, her heart skipping a beat. Could that be Kyron? Tiffany confirmed several times that she wasn't mistaken. Her eyes widened, almost popping out of her head. No way. Is that really him? And he's surrounded by all these beauties. That's one hell of an appeal. Haley stared at me, her eyes icy. This man got photographed going to the hotel with Arya. He dares to party and show off here? Kyron, you are so good. While I was flirting, I felt a sharp gaze staring at me. I turned my head and saw a familiar figure walking towards me. I narrowed my eyes and deliberately smiled tauntingly. Haley walked through the crowd and stood in front of me. You just signed the divorce papers and you were already here partying. Kyron, you are really horny. I leaned back on the sofa and casually said, life is short, of course I have to enjoy it. Haley looked down at me, her expression cold. Tiffany stood behind her, whispering, Haley, isn't he acting crazy because you dumped him? I scoffed. Miss Tiffany, you're joking. Why would I give up the entire forest for one dog? Tiffany was shocked. He dared to call Haley a dog? Is this really the Kyron I know? Haley stared at me, her expression really bad. Tiffany and I had been friends since we were young. Kyron loved her so much, how could he talk about her like that? Right now, I was completely different from before. As her eyes met mine, a hint of defiance flashed through my eyes. What's wrong, Haley? Do you think I'm wrong? It had to be admitted that this woman was really beautiful. Her whole body screamed wealth, but right now she was looking at me with a very dangerous glare. Just then, a fat man came to my VIP section and drunkenly said, Oh, two beauties are fighting over a man? You should come to me. I will love you. Haley glanced at him, frowned, and moved away a few steps. The fat man walked towards me, and pushed the girl next to me away. Why want a man as weak as him? One slap from me will get him flying. Right after that, a dirty arm swung at me. In my eyes, a killing intent flashed. As the fat man's hand touched my collar, I immediately slapped him in the face. The fat man screamed and fell to the ground. You dare. I immediately gave him a kick to the stomach and kicked him a few meters away. Seeing this, the fat man's bodyguards rushed in to attack me. My eyes lit up with bloodlust, quickly intercepting them. In less than 10 seconds, the 4 bodyguards were all lying on the ground. I brushed the dust off my body and sat down to the sofa, freely enjoying my drinks. Tiffany stared at me and was in disbelief. Kyron, you are really good at fighting. Wait, before, you looked so polite, why did you suddenly increase your combat skills so much? Did he pretend to be polite? Haley stared at me, her expression turning from cold to curious. The man that she had married for 2 years was completely changing after they signed the divorce papers. I shook my hand and beckoned to the group of girls and put on a charming smile. Why are you all standing so far away? Come here and pour me a drink. The girls immediately went over, an icy look suddenly shot over. It was Haley's eyes. It made the girls shake because they had offended the Haley. I glanced at her, pouted, and said, "Haley, if you interrupt people playing, you will get hit by lightning." Lars glared at me. "I'm not the best?" I secretly smiled bitterly. "Rest assured, I won't beg. I just want to be strangers with you." "Beg you to come back? In your next life. I don't have the spare time to waste words with you here." I held out my hand again. "Give me back my jade pendant." Haley glanced at me and said, "I threw it away." My body stiffened. She threw my jade pendant away? Haley took a sip of coffee, her face expressionless. "Did I have to keep it just because you gave it to me?" I slammed my hand on the table, so angry that my face turned pale. "Haley, where did you throw it?" Haley remained emotionless. "I forgot." I clenched my fist, a murderous intent rising in my heart. Haley keenly detected the hint of killing intent flashing in my eyes and found it even more interesting. 2 years of marriage, and this was the first time she'd seen me so angry. We stared at each other in a stalemate for a moment, then I suddenly laughed. "Haley, I'll give you 10 days. If you don't find my jade pendant, I'll go to court and withdraw the divorce petition." During this 1-month reconsideration period for the divorce, as long as one party disagreed, they could go to the Department of Civil Affairs and withdraw the petition at any time. Haley's expression instantly turned cold. She knew this man wouldn't easily agree to the divorce. What jade pendant? It was definitely just an excuse. He had planned this all along. My smile became even brighter. As long as I didn't agree to the divorce, her first love would just be a third wheel who couldn't hold his head up high. Haley glared at me in exasperation, stood up, and approached me. "Kyron, listen carefully. I must divorce you, and I will." I sneered. "Then hurry up and find my jade pendant. If you can't find it, I'll make the entire Harper Corporation keep Haley company." This was the only chance I was giving her. After speaking, I looked at her warningly, then quickly turned and left. As soon as I left Haley's office, I saw a man with dyed blonde hair walking toward me. Finn, a member of the Finn family, one of Haley's admirers. Since I married Haley, he had come to make trouble for me more than once. Finn saw me coming out of Haley's office, first startled, then pointed at me and shouted, "What are you doing here? What is it to you?" I retorted irritably. In the past, because I wanted Haley to like me, I suppressed my temper and tried to be an obedient and compliant husband. Every time Finn made trouble, I silently endured it or avoided him if I could. But now, I didn't plan to endure it anymore. Finn didn't expect that I, who was originally weak and easy to bully, would dare to talk to him like this, so angry that his face changed color. "Kyron, Haley has already divorced you. Why are you still clinging to her?" I smiled. "Mr. Finn, Haley and I haven't finalized the divorce, so we are currently legally husband and wife." Finn rushed in front of me, arrogantly pointing at my nose. "So what if you're legally husband and wife? Haley doesn't even like you." I waved my hand. "Whether she likes me or not is not important. What's important is that as long as I don't get a divorce, I'm still her legal husband." Finn flew into a rage. "I've seen many guys like you. You just want money." As he spoke, Finn took a check out of his pocket and threw it in my face. "Here's $1 million. Take the money and get as far away as possible." I narrowed my eyes, looking at the arrogant man. Lazily, I picked up the check. $1 million and you want me to leave her for life?" Finn glared at me. "What do you mean for life? I want you to be far away from Haley forever, you freeloader. 1 million and you still think it's too little?" I softly laughed. "Mr. Finn, you dare take out only 1 million? How embarrassing." I lightly flicked my wrist, using force to rotate the check, making the sharp paper edge cut a bloody line on Finn's face. Finn covered his face in pain, seeing his hand covered in blood. "Kyron, you dare to cut my face? I'll kill you." I coldly laughed. With just you? 2 years ago, a bunch of rabid dogs trained in the tropical rainforest couldn't kill me, let alone you. Finn was extremely angry, raised his hand, and tried to hit me in the face. However, before his hand could touch me, I grabbed it tightly. Next, a crisp cracking sound rang out. Finn let out a pig-slaughtering scream, collapsing to the ground. His right arm was twisted into a bizarre position. I looked at Finn kneeling on the ground, raised my eyebrow, and said, "Didn't learn your lesson? Next time it won't be just a crippled arm." Just then, Haley's angry voice came from behind. "Kyron, what are you doing?" As soon as Finn saw Haley, he shouted, "Haley! Kyron just tried to kill me." I turned my head, patted my hands, and said, "Can't you see? I'm hurting people." Haley didn't have time to waste words with me, immediately ordering people to take Finn to the hospital. Going to the hospital, apologizing to Finn, and the Finn and Harper families had a decent relationship. The business had partnerships, and Finn was the treasure of the Finn family, so if she injured him, the Finns wouldn't let it go. I looked at Haley with the gaze I would use on an idiot. Is he good enough? I quickly turned and walked away. Stand there. Haley grabbed my arm. In my eyes, a flash of emerald green lit up. I flung her hand away. Don't touch me casually. Did you think I was still the underdog, enduring everything like a meek lamb like before? Beside her, Tiffany inhaled. Haley exuded a cold aura. Kyron, do you want to die? If you want to die, I can help you. I laughed contemptuously. You can try. Haley exuded an indescribably dangerous aura. Don't think that just because you have Arya backing you up, I won't dare to touch you. I raised an eyebrow. I have someone backing me up. Are you jealous? Haley was left without an answer. Why was she jealous? She just felt very uncomfortable. Kyron, if you want to play the possessive ex-husband act in front of me, I advise you to give up that idea. I glanced at her. The possessive ex-husband act? Does it seem like anyone who looks at you starts liking you? I liberally turned around to leave. Haley coldly stared at my figure as I was leaving. After I left, Tiffany dared to get close to Haley. Is that still the Kyron that loved you to death that you knew? It wasn't like he was possessed or something? Haley didn't understand how, in just a few short days, this man could have changed so much. I left the Harper Corporation and hadn't gotten back to the hotel for a long time before I received a phone call from Haley, Haley's younger sister. Haley was cheerful, cute, enthusiastic, generous, and had a great smile. She had just learned that I and her sister were divorcing, and was afraid I was thinking too hard about it, so she set up a time to go out to have fun. In the Harper family, Haley was the only one who treated me well, and was also my only friend since I lost my memory. I would be leaving soon, so I agreed to go to the mall with her. I led Haley straight to her favorite Hermes counter. Half an hour later, Haley was holding the diamond-studded crocodile bag she had always wanted but never bought, walking out of the store, completely stunned. Although she usually spent money lavishly, spending $4 million on a bag was too extravagant. Kyron, did you really give me this bag? Haley looked at the bag in her hand, worth a house, a little incredulous. I smiled and nodded. Next month is your birthday. Consider this an early birthday present for you. Haley was so moved that she shed tears. Kyron, you're so nice, but where did you get so much money? Haley was a little skeptical. Didn't he divorce her sister and not take a penny or a house? What's more, he hadn't worked in 2 years, so of course he couldn't have any income. I gently said, from my savings before. Haley paused, suddenly reacting, and stared at me. Kyron, you've regained your memory, haven't you? I nodded. Yes. Haley was stunned. No wonder you've been so strange these past 2 days, completely like a different person. So it turns out you've regained your memory. Haley looked at me, her eyes shining. Kyron, you're so rich. Aren't you a young master of a billionaire family? I laughed, shook my head, and said, take away the 2 words young master and you're right. Haley happily nodded. Okay. I'd like to be supported. All afternoon, Haley and I plundered all the brand name counters in the shopping mall. In the evening, after having dinner, Haley took the spoils home, and I returned to the hotel. Not long after getting back to the hotel, I received a call from Haley. As soon as I picked up, a strange man's voice came over. You're Haley's brother-in-law, right? Give you half an hour to get to the Cloudview Villa. Otherwise, prepare to make funeral arrangements for Haley. Okay. Cloudview Villa. Haley was tied up, sitting on the sofa. 2 black-suited bodyguards stood watching her. The man hung up, turned towards the bodyguards and said, "Untie her." As soon as her hands were free, Haley pulled the tape off her mouth and stood up. Will, are you crazy? Daring to kidnap me as well? The 3 biggest families were the Harper, Will, and Ford families. Even though the Wills and Harpers weren't friendly, there was still contact. Please don't move around, miss. I didn't want to hurt you. I only invited you over to have Kyron come. Haley's heart thumped. She just found out Kyron had injured Finn, so he wants revenge. You can't let Kyron come. Haley started running towards him to grab the phone, but she was blocked. Don't test me, Mississippi. I heard your sister had no feelings for Kyron, so I didn't harm him. He pointed to the guards. Make sure to guard the door. When he comes, have him crawl here. I'll risk my life with you. However, she was controlled before she got to Will. Just as Will finished speaking, the sharp sound of tires screeched outside. So fast. Haley worried. She wished that her sister came, not Kyron. Will turned, he's here, then yells, get him. There was an immediate crash. What was going on outside? Will was just about to see who had come when Kyron appeared at the door, and it was obvious that it was Kyron, and that Kyron was not someone to be trifled with. Haley was relieved, Kyron. She didn't want him to worry, so she blurted, Kyron, leave me alone. They won't dare to do anything to me. He told the bodyguard on the side, shut her up. However, before he could give the orders, Kyron walked in and knocked all the other men down, quickly untying her. With all the men unconscious, how could they have protected her? I see why I can't feel scared. Haley was now freed, but how could this be possible? Let's go. Haley looked at the guards, who were lying on the floor. We? It was clear Kyron could take care of everything, so she could leave it to him. The 2 walked outside, and Kyron pointed to the ground with his chin. The 2 looked over. It was all of Will's men. They had all passed out. I'm impressed. He can do anything. What is she waiting for? That would be great if Kyron took care of her and loved her. The 2 left the Will residence and the sun set. I'll send you home, Mississippi. After returning the Will family, the 3 big families' situation was delicate. Now the Will and Ford had to be careful. Haley stared at me in amazement. You severed Will's finger. No wonder you told me to go outside earlier, you didn't want to scare me. Oh, Kyron, how can you be so gentle? Willow clenched her fist, staring intently at me. Although she had never met me before today, she had heard some rumors. Everyone said Haley's husband was a weakling, someone anyone could bully. Yet now, this weak man had actually severed her brother's finger. Haley's husband, I interrupted Willow, then glanced at Haley. She and I have no relationship now. Kyron. Haley gritted her teeth. This man just wanted to disclaim any relationship with her. Haley looked at her sister. Did she force Kyron to divorce her? Why does she seem like the one who got dumped? It was a little strange. I glanced at Haley, not interested in continuing to get entangled with them anymore, so I lightly said, Miss Will, if you want to take revenge for your brother, I'm always ready to welcome you. A word of advice, you'd better bring more people. After speaking, I directly got into the sports car parked on the side of the road. Stepping on the gas, the car shot off like an arrow. When Haley reacted, she only saw the red taillights of the car growing farther and farther away. Haley was so excited that she almost jumped up. Sister. Let me tell you, Kyron was so cool tonight. He single-handedly beat Will's guards to a pulp. Haley stared in the direction I left, not knowing what she was thinking. Willow recalled my arrogant appearance just now. A hint of interest arose in her heart. Not only did he sever her brother's finger, but he also took care of so many guards without a scratch. This man was not simple. Haley, your ex-husband really makes me want to take a second look. Before Haley could say anything, Haley spoke to Willow. Don't have any designs on my brother-in-law. He and my sister haven't finalized the divorce yet. Willow smiled faintly. Then I'll wait for them to finalize the divorce before pursuing him. A cold light immediately flashed in Haley's eyes. Dare you? Willow was only joking, but seeing Haley's reaction, she became even more interested. Just kidding. Anyway, you're about to get a divorce. Me pursuing him has nothing to do with you. Then you can try, Haley said, her eyes full of warning. After a pause, she warned, keep your brother in check. Next time, it won't just be a finger. Willow nodded. What happened tonight was the Will family's fault. Even if I didn't take action, Haley wouldn't have let Will go. Severing a finger is considered a lesson for him, so he knows his place. After sternly warning her, Haley took Haley into the car and left. As soon as I got back to the hotel room, Arya hugged a computer and excitedly said, Kyron, I found the transaction from 2 years ago. Found a document with your name in it. It's just a bank account. Based on the account numbers, I found out who wanted to kill you 2 years ago. Arya didn't say anything else, directly handing the tablet to me. As I received it and took a look, my face immediately changed. The Kai family in Jingqing? So the ones who hired Black Hand to hunt me down 2 years ago were the Kai family. Inconceivable. Just as I was about to call my grandfather, I saw that the tablet lit up to a new news story. Kai Haochen of the Kai family in Jingqing to wed a Miss Jiang of the Jiang family, date set with a title showing a wedding photo of Kai Haochen and Jiang Yuding. I stared, 2 people, first, my cousin, second, 5 years ago I had a fiancé. It was bad enough to be in love, but I find out there are wedding pictures? Do Kai Haochen and Jiang Yuding think I am dead? I want to look at what happened with the Kai family for the past 2 years, but there are 2 important things. Kai family published that I had died 2 years ago, and they even made it a fake funeral for me. The second is Grandpa had a strike from sadness and has been left paralyzed. Kai Haochen and Jiang Yuding think I am dead? I had to get revenge. All this time, this was what had been happening. Arya came up and gave me some wine. This time, I can hire people and let you find your people. Don't overdo things. I can let you find them. Let's go. I'll be back in Jingqing, and we'll have something to look into. All that they did had to be investigated. They had to pay for it. Okay. At the hotel, I didn't sleep well and had to sleep through the flight to make up for it. Then I got to a hotel, and finally woke up at 9 at night. Then I went back to the family and came upon one of the 6 families in the flower country. North in Jingqing, and 3 in the south, with the Mok and Jiang families. The 2 old women were best friends. My grandmother always uplifted the family, but the grandmother set up that the family had to be marriage-bound, but the company was just trying to set things up. I'd driven to the family villa, the only thing I wanted to do was to check in. Everyone here was going around. I'm going to find my grandfather for a run around, he isn't home. I got hit, and everyone knew I was there, they just ran after me. The whole building was on alert, and I got up from the 3rd floor and met a man. I saw him, and just struck him. He was ready to jump from a balcony, just like I was, then he ended up saying, "What, you're here?" Kyron wanted to know why Haley was here, not anyone else. The footsteps came in, so there wasn't much explaining to do. Are you Kyron? She just asked. Kyron, why are you in my house? Then this would be a good time to use my face. Then someone handed me tea. I picked up a cup to drink. Haley wanted to say that Kyron wasn't on the family list. She knew that this family was always on the go. Now it was my chance to do what had to be done, but my legs were just gone. When Haley asked me to move, I was out of my mind. You. At the time she wanted to ask about that fruit drink that Houchin made that they had forced her to drink. When Haley moved to kiss me, I took the shot and that was that. That was the night I went through with her. What are you? Haley wanted to know. I knew everything that had happened when I woke up, so I punched her to get out of my mind. I had to take her down. I saw she was gone, there were just 2 ringtones, and I knew it was Haley. Kyron would never be caught by her, but I knew I'd call back. When you're done, I got out to the hotel and wanted to see everything out. I was trying to stay in place and not be caught. No one would know the truth that had happened and what I was in for. The assistant and a document were with her. There isn't an investigation as to where she is, the document said. They are probably together. If they are, it's going to be bad. What are they doing together? After she was done talking to the man, she just grabbed me. What I was looking forward to was the same thing. She said hello, and I hung up. When I found out that she was the person that was looking for me. Was that a big deal? Haley had turned my face off so she could turn me into someone to rely on. They can't get in. There was an alarm going off while she said goodbye. This is what it's all about. We were trying to hold on to that. There isn't much that will hold it back. You had a great day to have been there. I'd be scared, but there's a call that I didn't think would come. It was a call saying you have my father. She had a message to say. After it had come, the tone came in. In front of her eyes there was Kyra. Where are you? A familiar voice echoed on the phone. Miss Harper asked me to tell you that if you want to save Mr. Kai, you have to come to the Hawthorne estate and meet her. A chill ran down my spine, and my eyes flared with anger. Haley, that bitch. She dares kidnap my grandfather to threaten me? Miss Harper also told you to unblock her number, Daniel finished and hung up. The Hawthorne estate was one of the upscale residential areas developed by the Kai family in the top cities of Flower Country. Haley was sitting on the sofa in the living room, a laptop on her lap, her fingers rapidly tapping on the keyboard. The security camera footage of the Kai family mansion last night had been deleted in many scenes. She was trying to recover them. Daniel came to Haley's side and said, Miss, I already called Mr. Kentucky. He's probably on his way here now. Hearing this, Haley smiled coldly. In less than half an hour, I arrived at the Hawthorne estate. As soon as I entered the house, I was like a loaded gun, storming up to Haley. Haley, what have you done with my grandfather? Haley closed the laptop and smiled at me. Grandfather? Who is that? I angrily laughed. Don't play dumb with me. Kidnapping my grandfather to threaten me proves you already know my identity. Haley narrowed her eyes, sizing me up, and her red lips curved upward. So should I call you Kyron or Kai-fong? I clenched my fists, glaring at Haley. Kai-fong was my formal name, Kyron was my nickname. In my years abroad, to avoid revealing my identity, I changed my name to Kyron. After using it for a long time, I got used to it. Haley said to herself, the time you lost your memory and the time the Kai family announced Kai-feng's death weren't too far apart. Plus, the things you said last night, so I took a bold guess that you were the Kai family's eldest son who had been dead for 2 years, Kai-fong. I shrugged. Since that's the case, I have nothing to hide. I raised my head and looked at her. That's right. I am Kai-fong. Haley looked at me and asked, when did you regain your memory? I gave her a cold stare. The day you proposed the divorce. Haley recalled the scene that day, frowning. I laughed, self-deprecatingly saying, I should thank you. If it weren't for your ruthlessness, maybe I still wouldn't have regained my memory by now. Haley looked at me with a displeased expression. Kai-fong, do you have to be so sarcastic when you talk to me? I retorted without politeness, I don't need to have a good attitude with an ex-wife. Haley was rendered speechless by me. She glared at me, remaining silent for a moment, then suddenly asked, tell me, what time did you leave last night? I was stunned. If she hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't have cared. But as soon as she said it, I got angry. I was about to explode when Haley suddenly stepped forward, her sharp eyes staring at me. This morning, when I called you, why was Arya by your side? Don't tell me you were busy with her all night. Hearing Haley say this, I froze, then understood the meaning behind her words. My expression instantly turned pale. She didn't know who I spent the night with? Judging by this, she didn't want to acknowledge what happened last night. I stared at Haley, a self-deprecating smile flashing in my eyes. That's right. I was with her last night. Haley's back stiffened. Last night, she was obviously drugged too. If he left and was with Arya. Thinking of this, Haley felt extremely insane. She couldn't wait to tear Arya into pieces. He was her husband, yet he spent the entire night with another woman. Kai Feng, how can you be so shameless? I coldly looked at Haley. Yes, I am shameless. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fawned over you like a dog for the past 2 years. Thinking back on those past 2 years, I feel so wronged. I've never had to endure such humiliation. Haley stared at me, dangerously narrowing her eyes. She suddenly grabbed my arm and dragged me upstairs. I was about to pull my hand away when, unexpectedly, I tripped and fell heavily. Haley wanted to reach out and support me, but she was a step too late, watching as my head slammed into the edge of the table. Blood made Haley's eyes sting. She quickly stepped forward, wanting to help me. Get away. Don't touch me. I clutched the wound on my forehead, weakly leaning on Haley, wanting to struggle but not having the strength. Haley panicked, urgently shouting, Daniel, quickly call the doctor. Very quickly, Daniel called the family doctor of the villa. The doctor checked the wound on my forehead. It was a little deep and needed to be stitched up. I had taken medicine and hadn't rested at all, and today I had gone through so much. At this time, the wound was both painful and uncomfortable. I drowsily fell asleep. Haley stood by the bed, watching the doctor stitch up my wound, her emotions gradually calming down. What was wrong with her? Why had she lost control like that just because Kyron was with Arya last night? At that time, after drinking the water, they were both hit with aphrodisiacs. The things that happened after that were all without memory. In that situation, staying by her side wasn't the best choice? But he turned around and found Arya instead of choosing her. Haley really didn't want to admit that she was extremely jealous and extremely crazy. Just then, Daniel suddenly came in from outside. Kyrinda sent a servant to say that he has investigated who drugged your tea last night. It was him. Haley smiled coldly. She didn't think things would be that simple. Kyrinda was likely just looking for a scapegoat to deceive her. Haley ordered, keep the person here and continue investigating. When I woke up again, it was already night outside. I subconsciously wanted to reach out and touch my forehead, but a cool hand grabbed my hand. The wound had just been bandaged. I looked at Haley's hateful face, really wanting to swear. Haley, what did I do to offend you that you have to treat me like this? Haley sat by the bed, saying nothing. I glared at her. Haley, we're already divorced. Divorced, do you understand? An ex-wife should act like an ex-wife. Again and again with this wife. Haley's face has grown tired. We are in the process, Haley said. She can revoke the divorce at any time. I didn't want her to. Don't change. It was you who wanted the divorce. Am I a dog? She wanted to kill him with everything. We won't force, Haley said. If you can't do that, just forget about that. Give up. She took them all, and with that I was done. With what was happening, she wasn't going to be any different. Humph. We will see. Haley looked into his eyes and he couldn't say much. He looked pale and looked out of the window. Have you eaten? Haley asked. Nothing, he replied. Then you can get to rest, Haley said, and she took him to rest. As the assistant came up, her phone rang with a video, and she knew it was to investigate all the people Kyron knew. Her face changed to when she had seen the tape. The man was there for 2 minutes and came at that exact time. She then wanted to leave. Kyron had planned that all. That can't be true. That man just wouldn't come in like that. She wasn't sure that the video could make it true. The phone was handed back, and she got downstairs when the phone rang. It was Kyron's phone. It came in as Arya. Oh God. I can't, she whispered to herself. Finally she answered. Kyron, why is that? Are you in a bad place? Arya asked. Kyron, I'm waiting. Kyron is with me, she said coldly. Haley. There was a pause and Haley was cold. You know what is happening, Kyron? He's just the man you need to leave, he has nothing, Arya replied. There was a click. The man then gave a video to her. Then she had left the room and the man started crying. They were just friends. That isn't the same. Just what was happening to get everyone mad? This woman wanted her so bad, she can have it. But I wanted to leave. On the stairs a man, the dad is here. The bad man just wants to be back, he can just do that. Her face changed to scary. She turned to get the call. Everyone has to know. Everyone was looking for her. She knew what to do. They just didn't, and she could do what was happening so everyone would understand. This boy was always trouble. No, I need food, let's do that first, Haley said. On the stairs, it was heard, he had ran away. Haley ran into the room. The man wasn't there. The old man. It was like that had happened. Back at Haley's everyone was there to help him. What can you say? Haley will make it okay. Not really, was all she knew about what would happen, but could she rely on this? If she can, she can kill them. I had to kill, the woman said, and it was that the world didn't want. You have to promise me. All Haley was seeing was red. It had to change. Everyone was getting hurt from this. All Kyron could do was change things. He liked her, but didn't want to do it. I won't, Kyron replied, and was that all the others wanted? Haley wasn't like that, Kyron was trying to get away from. Now all that I want is to do nothing. But what could she do in the face of these people? Haley then found him and it was him. He looked sad. Kyron, Haley said, and it wasn't what she needed, he had done a lot. What was Haley to do? The door then had a knock. People had known. There was a call. This had to get better. What else was it? A club. Haley wasn't going to let that work again. They were working for him. We have a date now, and Haley won't change it. On the street, Haley saw the person and could find it. Who would be out at 3? Haley had to know. Haley's place was there. Come, the man said. A man who would ask her now, that had to be wrong. It could all change. Haley was going to find Kyron. The video changed everything. We want the man Kyron, the video played. What was that happening? Now it was for the show and to make things worse. Who was doing that? What would it be worth? He liked the money, she was too. In the world nothing can be changed to them. Nothing but to stop the people on the sides. He just wanted to do all in a spot. How did she to make more change? It came down to the sides or the one who wants to change it. There were the sides that just wanted. What was Haley to do? There was only one way. Haley started her car and took off. Only two could make the changes, and what would this be? Haley had to know. Of the domestic underground fighting scene. Damn it, am I blind? How can that be Phantom? He retired from the fighting world years ago. Why is he appearing here? Those who frequented the underground fighting scene all knew Phantom's name. He was a legendary figure in the boxing world, a top dog among top dogs. He rose to fame as soon as he came of age with a pair of fists that had destructive power. He swept through all the underground fighting scenes in Europe. From the time he debuted to when he retired, he had never been defeated. His achievements in the underground fighting scene for 2 years had yet to be surpassed. All the audience members in the stands were stunned. Very quickly, the referee stepped onto the stage, followed closely by David. Everyone held their breath, looking toward the opposite tunnel entrance, waiting eagerly. After a dozen seconds, a person wearing a golden mask slowly walked out. He looked like a newbie, but his sharp eyes showed no emotion. The audience erupted. The large screen above the ring continuously updated the prize money for this match. From the initial few billion, it skyrocketed to hundreds of billions, and the number was still constantly increasing. Haley stood in the stands, a little stunned. That was Kyron. Although he was wearing a mask, Haley still recognized me instantly through my eyes. Kyron, what are you doing here for me? Haley shouted at the top of her lungs, pushing through the crowd, rushing toward the ring. Did he know what he was doing? He had just been injured a few hours ago, and now he dared to step onto the stage to fight. Kyron, get down here for me. Haley disregarded everything, wanting to rush to the ring, but the audience's emotions were too high. No matter what she did, she couldn't squeeze through. Very quickly, the match began. As soon as the bell rang, I was like a lightning bolt, rushing toward David. In the blink of an eye, a sharp fist had landed on the opponent's face. David wasn't a pushover. Although he was punched, his reaction was extremely fast, immediately counterattacking. Seeing him swing a fist at my head, Haley's heart jumped out of her chest. However, at this moment, I nimbly dodged. In the next second, I leaped up, flying to David's side, a powerful punch landing on his ribs. David on the stage let out a painful groan, almost falling off the stage. The shouts continued. The atmosphere became more and more lively. The air was filled with excitement and madness. David's eyes turned red, and he became more and more ruthless, but each time he was skillfully avoided by me. As time went on, David became more and more passive. After a dozen moves, he had a lot of injuries on his body. His face was also swollen like a pig's head. In contrast, not only did I not have the slightest injury, but even my hairstyle wasn't messed up at all. This wasn't fighting at all, it was clear that I was unilaterally abusing David. The match didn't last too long. In less than 10 minutes, David was kicked off the stage by a spinning kick, fainting. The arena once again exploded with thunderous cheers and shouts. Everyone was chanting my name. I stood in the middle of the ring, a beam of light shining on me. The large screen showed a close-up of my face. At this moment, no one dared to doubt Phantom's godlike power anymore. I never thought that in my life I could witness Phantom fighting. What luck! Is Phantom about to make a comeback? I'm too excited. Under the stage, everyone was cheering, expressing their love and adoration for me, except for Haley. She looked at me on the big screen, an inexplicable pain in her heart. Why did his eyes look so empty, as if he had separated from the outside world, without any emotion? From the time he stepped onto the stage until now, his fists had never relaxed, and his lips were also pressed tightly together, as if he was suppressing something. Something was wrong. The noisy shouts around me made me a little uncomfortable. I mechanically raised my head, looking toward the stands. My eye swept across, seemingly seeing a familiar figure. I glanced at her, then turned and left. As soon as I left the bar, I saw Haley waiting in front of the car. Why was she here? Could it be that the person I saw in the underground fighting scene just now was really her? Had she recognized me? Haley stared at me, waving her hand. I coldly looked at her, the irritability that had just been almost vented now surging up again. Seeing me not moving, Haley strode toward me. I looked at her and asked, "Haley, what do you want to do?" "I should be asking you that." Haley angrily grabbed my wrist. "Kyron, do you know what you just did? Did you forget you were injured?" At that time, she didn't expect my attack to be so powerful. When she saw me step onto the stage, all she could think about was that I was still injured. What if something happened? In that instant, Haley felt like her heart was about to jump out of her throat, hating that she couldn't fly onto the stage and drag me down. I coldly stared at Haley, a cold smile curving on the corner of my mouth. If you didn't say anything, I really would have forgotten. Haley bit her lip, a breath of anger stifled in her chest, unable to go up or down. She was annoyed to death. Kyron, don't forget that your grandfather is still in my hands. A cold light flashed in my eyes, and I gritted my teeth, uttering 3 words, you bitch. I really wanted to smash her head. Opening the car door, Haley glared at me. I reluctantly got into the car. Haley drove, occasionally glancing at me pretending to sleep, her eyes full of scrutiny and curiosity. Kyron, how many identities do you actually have? She suddenly asked. The Kai family's eldest son, Kai Feng, is you. The king of boxing who dominates the fighting scene, Phantom, is also you. How many other identities does this man have? I opened my eyes, my gaze cold and full of vigilance. I smiled faintly. Guess. Haley glanced at me. Whenever you want to talk, I'm always ready to listen. Returning to Haley's villa, it was almost dawn. The wound on my forehead had burst open. I treated it again a little, then took 2 antibiotics. After eating breakfast, I listlessly turned on the TV. Just then, I saw an interview of Kai Hao-chen and Jiang Yuding. Mr. Kai, there are rumors that after the 2 of you get married, the companies of both families will achieve closer cooperation. Can you reveal a little about the area of cooperation? The Kai and Jiang families have always been close friends. Cooperation in the business world has never stopped. Now that the 2 families are marrying, cooperation will naturally be closer than before. There are even rumors that the 2 companies may merge. Kai Hao-chen gently held Jiang Yuding's hand. Actually, I'm not too clear either. It's all discussed by my dad and Uncle Jiang. At this time, Jiang Yuding also spoke up. After we get married, everyone will know. Miss Jiang, some people on the internet say that you're marrying into the Kai family to fulfill the marriage contract with the Kai family. In reality, you still love the lost Kai Feng in your heart, is that true? Hearing the name Kai Feng, Jiang Yuding frowned. I always regarded Kai Feng as an older brother. At that time, I only got engaged to him due to pressure from both families. I originally planned to wait until the coming-of-age ceremony to cancel the engagement. Who knew that heaven would be jealous of talented people? Kai Hao-chen also lowered his head silently, his expression as if touched by the sad events in the past. Poor Kyron, so sad. After saying this, Kai Hao-chen looked at his fiancée with affection. The marriage between me and Xiaoting has nothing to do with any commercial interests. The person I've loved from beginning to end has always been her. The reason why we're getting married is because we love each other. I coldly stared at the disgusting couple on TV, unable to suppress a cold smile curving on the corner of my mouth. Love each other? It seemed that Jiang Yuding had forgotten how she had pursued me back then. Although I didn't love her, we were still engaged. Being said by her like this made it seem like I was clinging to her. This anger, I really couldn't swallow. It just so happened that I also wanted to see just how much Jiang Yuding and Kai Hao-chen loved each other. As I was thinking this, I heard someone outside. I am Ethan, Miss Haley's friend. Please tell Miss Haley that I'm waiting for her downstairs. I raised my eyebrows. Ethan? I remembered Kai Hao-chen's cousin was also named this. I had just turned around when I saw a servant lead a man dressed in brand-name clothes inside. Ethan didn't know me. He didn't seem to think that Haley's villa would have a man in it. Looking at me wearing pajamas, his expression immediately darkened. Who are you? Ethan pointed at me, loudly asking. The servant leading Ethan in introduced, this is Ms. Haley's, our, husband. Ethan inhaled, what? This is Haley's ex-husband? It's rumored that Haley's ex-husband is extremely ugly. The man in front of me has nothing to do with the word ugly. So you're Haley's husband. Ethan quickly calmed down, a polite smile on his face, his tone full of sarcasm. No, it should be said, Haley's ex-husband. I heard from a friend that Haley has already divorced her husband. He was someone who Haley had abandoned. What did he have to fear? Thinking of this, Ethan's gaze at me became even more arrogant. Haley has already divorced you. Don't you feel ashamed clinging to her? I pretended to be embarrassed, sighing. Who said I'm clinging to her? It's clear that she loves me so much that she's madly stuck to me like glue, not letting me leave. Nonsense. Ethan pointed at me, his voice trembling. Don't you even look at what you are? Dare to say Haley loves you so madly? I think you're delusional. I yawned, waving my hand. Too noisy. Tell someone to throw him out for me. Last night I didn't sleep, and I also consumed a lot of energy. I was a little tired. I stood up, intending to go upstairs to sleep. Ethan was so angry that his face turned pale. He stepped in front of me, pointing at my nose. You're just someone who was abandoned. You dare to act mighty in front of me? Let me tell you, I'm Haley's future husband. I raised my eyebrows, looking at him. You want to become Haley's husband? Keep dreaming. Ethan took out his phone, finding a photo of Haley sleeping that he had secretly taken yesterday when she was unconscious. If you don't believe me, look at this. If it wasn't for someone in black suddenly barging in and interrupting my time, I would have already slept with Haley. But with these photos, I'm not afraid that Haley won't acknowledge me. I glanced at the photo on Ethan's phone, my expression slightly changing. In the photo, Haley was lying on the bed sleeping, and Ethan was hugging her, smiling sweetly. When did Haley and he? Before I could react, Ethan arrogantly pointed at me. Open your dog eyes and see clearly. I'm about to become the Harper family's son-in-law. At that time, you won't even be qualified to carry my shoes. What I hated the most was people pointing at me, especially when this person was smiling like that. I immediately tightly grabbed Ethan's wrist, twisting his hand forcefully. I only heard a cracking sound. Ethan immediately hugged his hand, collapsing to the ground. I smiled. You thought you could become the Harper family's son-in-law just by climbing onto Haley's bed? Let me tell you, as long as I'm still alive this life, don't even think about it. Haley's sudden voice came from behind, accompanied by joyful applause. I turned my head to see Haley, a smile on her face, walking down from upstairs. My words just now had pleased her. I snorted coldly, crossing my arms, sitting on the sofa. I wanted to see how Haley would handle this third party in front of me. What a sight. Ethan looked at Haley expectantly. Haley. Haley narrowed her eyes. Ethan, I originally planned to come and deal with you in a few days. I didn't expect you to come to your death on your own. She didn't expect Ethan to even take photos. This was really unforgivable. Ethan felt the cold aura exuding from Haley, so frightened that he trembled. And no, Haley, let me explain. I just missed you too much and wanted to come see you. Haley smiled coldly, not wanting to waste time on such an unimportant person. Guards, drag him down for me. Question him carefully until he's willing to tell the truth. The guards beside her replied in unison, yes. Ethan's face was terrified. Haley, no. No. Haley, save me. Ethan struggled, saying anything, but the guards wouldn't let go. Finally, he was dragged out, his cries becoming farther and farther away. I looked at Haley, smiling sarcastically. After all, you've slept in the same bed. You're really ruthless. Haley glanced at me, explaining, that night, you left early. He took the opportunity to sneak into the room and take those photos. He didn't even touch me. I have nothing to do with him. Hearing her explanation, my heart felt a little more comfortable, but my mouth remained stiff. No need to explain. I don't care. After speaking, I stood up, going upstairs. I lay on the bed, but couldn't fall asleep no matter what. I buried my head in the blanket, holding my breath, enduring the throbbing pain from my heart to every beat of my heart. Damn it, that thing in my blood was acting up again. Strangely, it hadn't acted up at all for the past 2 years. Now, I didn't have any medicine by my side. I could only endure it. Suddenly, a soft body appeared next to me. I was startled. Next, a pair of slender hands reached out. "Kyron, do you want to die?" Haley said, pulling me out of the blanket, seeing my face red from holding my breath. Both angry and annoyed, I looked at her. Every time it acted up, I just wanted to be in a dark room. Seeing me not saying anything, Haley took off her clothes. I looked at her, a little dumbfounded. "Haley, what do you want to do?" Did she want to sleep with me? Haley raised her eyebrows, hugging me. "Sleep? You're thinking too much." My nerves immediately tightened. I sat up from the bed, angrily looking at her. Facing my angry expression, an ambiguous look flashed in Haley's eyes. Her fingers, intentionally or unintentionally, stroked my chest. "If you don't want to sleep, I can do something else with you." After a pause, she stroked my face again. "For example, what happened that night?" I angrily cursed, "Are you sick? We've been married for 2 years, and you wouldn't even let me hold your hand. Now that we're about to get a divorce, you're trying to seduce me?" Haley stared at me. "Wasn't it you who made that hickey?" "What?" "Yesterday morning, I woke up at the Kai family. I didn't see you there. Plus, I was a little dizzy and didn't clearly remember what happened last night. I even thought you had abandoned me to find Arya, but I checked the security cameras." "You left in the morning." I interrupted Haley. "Adult men and women have their own needs." Haley frowned. She was clearly the one at a disadvantage. Why did she have a feeling of being abandoned? She seriously stared at me. "Shouldn't you take responsibility for me?" I smiled coldly. "I've given you a lot of chances over the years. It's just that you didn't know how to cherish them. Now, it's too late to say anything." Haley stared at me, her eyes deep. That night, she felt that I was too familiar. She wanted to confirm something. I sighed, taking out my phone, intending to transfer money. "Tell me, how much do you need?" Haley frowned. He was actually planning to use money to deal with her. I continued to ask, 50,000? 100,000? Or 200,000? Seeing Haley's face turn dark, not saying anything, I deliberately frowned, my expression full of disdain. "The most expensive model in Jingqing is only a few 100,000 for one night. Are you complaining that 200,000 is too little?" Haley couldn't help but explode in anger. He was actually treating her like a prostitute. This man really had the talent to make her angry to death. I glanced at her. "If you don't need it, then forget it. Anyway, I won't take responsibility for you. Now, seeing you makes me angry." I directly turned around, turning my back to her, I not see, heart not disturb. Haley silently stared at my back, that feeling becoming more and more familiar, more and more difficult to ignore. After what felt like forever, I felt my breathing become steady and soft, guessing that I had fallen asleep. Haley needed to confirm something. She gently lifted my shirt, revealing my back. She stared at my back, her eyes showing disappointment. She secretly sighed in her heart. Although that night I gave her a feeling very similar to that night 5 years ago, in the end, I was still not him. There was no tattoo on my back. Haley gently let my shirt down, her beautiful eyes coldly looking at my profile, full of complexity. After a moment, Haley reached out, gently hugging me, placing a light kiss on my neck. "It doesn't matter. If it's not, then it's not." I suddenly moved, turning around in her arms, rubbing against her. I was sleeping so soundly. No one would have imagined that the fearsome phantom had such power. Haley stared at my handsome face, her heart thumping. She felt her face burning, and she quickly stood up, going to the bathroom to take a cold shower. After showering, Haley wanted to lie next to me for a while longer, but at that moment, a loud commotion suddenly came from downstairs. Haley went out to the balcony, seeing Arya leading 2 teams of black-suited bodyguards surrounding the villa's entrance. "Haley, you get out here for me." Arya, waking up early in the morning, discovered that I wasn't at the hotel. Checking the security cameras, she learned that I had driven to the underground fighting scene to fight in the middle of the night. Knowing me for 7 to 8 years, Arya knew too well that last night I had secretly gone to fight. It was likely the illness had acted up. Arya called my phone, but no one answered. Checking the cameras outside the bar, she discovered that I had been taken away by Haley. Arya was so angry that she skipped breakfast, directly leading people to Haley's villa. "Haley, don't play dead. I know you're inside. If you don't hand Kyron over, I'm going to storm in. You're already divorced, yet you're still clinging on. Don't you feel ashamed?" Arya shouted until her voice was hoarse. Finally, seeing Haley walk out from inside, she immediately rushed forward. Haley narrowed her eyes. "He's still sleeping. Is that Kaifeng name yours to say?" Arya coldly looked at Haley, suddenly noticing that she was wearing pajamas. She said Kyron was still sleeping, so they had slept together? Arya was extremely angry in her heart. If there wasn't an iron gate separating them, Arya would have rushed up and torn Haley apart. "Haley, don't think you can tie Kyron down by using Mr. Kai. He will never tolerate anyone's threat," Arya confidently said. "Sooner or later, you two will get divorced." Haley's expression darkened, growing extremely cold. Seeing Haley's unpleasant expression, Arya directly took out a pen and a check from her bag. "Then what's your price? How much money do you need to agree to divorce Kyron?" Haley smiled coldly. "Do I look like I'm lacking money? Why does everyone use money to throw in my face?" Seeing Haley not say anything, Arya continued, "I forgot. You probably don't lack money. Then how about this? I'll give you a diamond mine. This isn't something you can buy with money." "Haley, I'm not done talking yet. Why are you leaving?" Haley directly ignored Arya outside, going back inside. She immediately called someone. Not long after, Arya received a call from her sister. "What? I have to go back now. But. Alright, I'll go back right away." Hanging up, Arya sent me a text message, saying she had urgent matters to handle and had left, then led her people out to the airport. Haley held a glass of wine, standing on the balcony, watching Arya hurriedly leave, the corners of her red lips curving upward. I rested well at Haley's villa for 2 days. 2 days later, it was finally the wedding day of Jeong Yuding and Kai Hao-chen. Kai Hao-chen and Jeong Yuding were both future heirs of their families, the real-life version of a prince and princess, a match made in heaven. The wedding location was chosen to be Jingqing's most high-end and luxurious hotel, the Turquoise Mountain Villa. Those who came to attend the wedding were all famous families or well-known figures in the business and political worlds. This wedding was extremely grand and lavish, not only inviting reporters but also organizing a live broadcast. The church is beautifully decorated, like a dream, just like a castle. So romantic. I heard that Jeong Yuding and Kai Hao-chen's wedding rings are worth hundreds of millions. I wonder how beautiful the bride will be when she appears later. I can't wait. Netizens, while watching the live broadcast of the wedding, sent comments, looking forward to the wedding taking place quickly even more than the groom. As time went by, guests arrived one after another. At 10 a.m., the wedding officially began. The solemn priest stood on the podium, giving a speech. Then the groom, Kai Hao-chen, in a neat suit, stepped up. Along with the melodious, romantic music, the heavy, large doors of the church slowly opened. Jeong Yuding, in a high-end, diamond-studded white wedding dress, stood at the entrance, both noble and movingly beautiful. Kai Hao-chen smiled, his eyes meeting Jeong Yuding's. He felt extremely satisfied in his heart. After waiting so many years, he had finally married Jeong Yuding. Dad was right. People could conquer even heaven. So what if Jeong Yuding was Kai Feng's fiancée? In the end, she still became his wife. Thinking of this, Kai Hao-chen slightly raised his chin, a hint of arrogant laughter flashing in his eyes. Kai Feng and Jeong Yuding walked toward each other. The two met in the middle of the red carpet, holding hands, walking together in front of the priest. Groom, Kai Hao-chen, I ask, do you agree to marry the bride, Jiang Yuding, as your wife, whether in good times or bad times, whether rich or poor, in health or in sickness, will you forever love, cherish, and be faithful to her until forever? Jiang Yuding tightly held Kai Hao-chen's hand, affectionately looking at him, full of affection. Just then, the large doors of the church were suddenly pushed open forcefully by someone from the outside. In an instant, everyone turned their heads to look toward the doors. At the doors, a handsome man was standing against the light, his temperament cold and noble. Whether it was his appearance or temperament, he was so perfect that no one could find fault with him. He was like the bright moon suddenly rising in the dark night. As long as he appeared, even the brightest stars would dim. Damn. Is that Katutu? Could it be that he's here to steal the bride? This appearance has completely stolen the groom's thunder. I think this handsome guy looks familiar. I took every step into the church. The aura exuding from my whole body, coupled with my handsome appearance, caused the entire venue to be so shocked that their mouths were agape. I walked into the church. Kai Hao-chen and Jiang Yuding only then clearly saw my face. Kai Hao-chen's eyes were wide, staring at the person walking towards him, his expression disbelieving. How could it be him? Wasn't he dead 2 years ago? Why was he still alive? No, it can't be him. The corner of my mouth curved, a confident, natural smile. 2 years without meeting. Cousin, you don't recognize your older brother? Kai Hao-chen, his face unbelievable, pointed at me. Kai Feng? You're still alive? Next to him, Jiang Yuding stared at me, so shocked that she seemed struck by lightning. Not only her, every member of the Jiang family beside her had an extremely unpleasant expression. I smiled ironically. My being alive disappointed you all, didn't it? After speaking, I turned my face toward the guests. Hello, everyone. I am the eldest grandson of the Kai family. 2 years ago, I was framed, injured. I don't know who spread the rumor that I had died. Now, I've returned, just wanting to tell everyone that the sole heir of the Kai family, Kai Feng, is still alive. Beside him, Kai Rinda's face was pale, staring at me, almost grinding his teeth to pieces. If I hadn't died, the position of heir to the Kai family would have nothing to do with him. He took a deep breath, suppressing the shock and anger in his heart, a fake expression on his face. He stood up. Little Feng, you're not dead, that's great. You don't know how heartbroken your uncle was when I heard the news of your death 2 years ago. I coldly looked at him. Oh? I didn't expect Uncle Tu to care about me so much. Kai Rinda forced a smile, reaching out. You're my nephew, of course I have to care. Today is the joyful day of your cousin and Yuding. Whatever happens, we'll talk about it at home later. We can't let you ruin the wedding. I avoided the hand Kai Rinda offered, my gaze sweeping over Kai Hao-chen and Jiang Yuding. Uncle Tu, our family matters can be discussed at home later. As for other matters. Hearing this, Kai Hao-chen's heart skipped a beat. Kai Feng's returning at this time was definitely to snatch Jiang Yuding back. He absolutely wouldn't allow anyone to steal Yuding away. Thinking of this, Kai Hao-chen hurriedly spoke up. Kai Feng, I'm sorry. I know Yuding and you had a marriage contract, but for the past 2 years, we all thought you had died. Yuding loves me, and I also love her very much. Please grant us our wish. Kai Rinda also spoke up, advising, that's right, little Feng. Those two didn't do anything wrong. They were together after you died. Look at their sincere love and grant them their wish. I looked at them, smiling faintly. Don't get me wrong, everyone. I'm not here to cause trouble today. Kai Hao-chen's eyes lit up. So you are? I took out a ring from my pocket, giving it to Jiang Yuding. This is the token of love 5 years ago when we got engaged. Since you and Kai Hao-chen like each other, then our marriage contract from here on out will be cancelled. From now on, we'll go our separate ways. Jiang Yuding took the ring I offered, not daring to believe it for a moment. She thought I would cling to her. At worst, I would make it so that today's wedding couldn't continue, but I generously cancelled the marriage contract, even returning the token of love from when we got engaged. Kai Hao-chan looked at me, moved. Kai Feng, thank you. Beside him, Kai Renda, with a fake expression, said. I know you're the most understanding. Now, quickly sit down. There's no rush. I interrupted Kai Renda, looking towards the Jiang family who were sitting. Mr. Jiang, Mrs. Jiang, since the marriage contract between me and Jiang Yuding is cancelled, then the previous cooperation between our two families is also no longer necessary, right? Also, about the $10 billion that was used as betrothal gifts at the time of the engagement, I hope you all will return it within a week. Jiang Yuding's father, Jiang Wenjian, after hearing this, stood up abruptly. The cooperation between the two families was decided by Mr. Kentucky. You don't have the right to say cancel. Jiang Yuding's mother also stood up, her sharp eyes looking at me. That's right. That $10 billion was also given to us by Mr. Kentucky. Why must we return it? I coldly looked at the Jiang family couple who were putting on a calm front. I am the heir to the Kai family, holding 40% of the company's shares. Could it be that I don't have the right to cancel a cooperation? As for that $10 billion, it was originally my betrothal gift, and I clearly stated it when transferring the money. Now that the marriage contract between me and your daughter is cancelled, by sentiment, reason, and law, that money must be returned. If Mrs. Jiang has questions, she can ask a lawyer. Hearing this, Mrs. Jiang's eyes darted around. Immediately, her expression turned friendly, grabbing my hand. Kai Feng, I know you're still angry at Yuding. Actually, she and Kai Hao-chan haven't registered their marriage yet. Just as his mother-in-law said this, Kai Hao-chan became anxious. Mom, what do you mean? Mrs. Jiang smiled, looking at Kai Hao-chan. Hao-chan, you and Yuding haven't gotten married yet. Calling me mom now is a little too early, isn't it? If there were no Kai Feng, Kai Hao-chan would be the sole heir to the Kai family. Marrying him would be beneficial and harmless to the Jiang family. But now that Kai Feng was alive, he was the official head of the Kai family. Kai Hao-chan couldn't compare to Kai Feng at all. If that was the case, it would be better to let Yuding marry Kai Feng. Kai Hao-chan's face turned pale. He watched his mother-in-law grab his daughter and pull her to his side. Yuding, Mom thinks you and Kai Feng are a match made in heaven. Quickly apologize to Kai Feng. Today's wedding is cancelled. Seeing this, Kai Renda was so angry that he almost cursed, but at this moment, Jiang Wenjian whispered something in his ear. The two very tacitly exchanged glances, both saying nothing. Mrs. Jiang pushed Jiang Yuding. Yuding, what are you standing there for in a daze? Quickly apologize to Kai Feng. Also, give the ring to Kai Feng. Jiang Yuding glanced at Kai Hao-chan, calculating in her heart. Although she liked Kai Hao-chan, if he wasn't the heir to the Kai family, his attraction to her would no longer be as great. Jiang Yuding considered in her heart for a moment, quickly stepping in front of me, her expression both apologetic and affectionate, looking at me. Kai Feng, I'm sorry. I thought you had died, so. Actually, in my heart, I've always had you. Our marriage contract is still valid, okay? Hearing this, the bouquet in Kai Hao-chan's hand fell to the ground, his face pale. We're about to get married. Yet at this time, you're abandoning me to choose him? Why, Kai Feng? Why didn't you just die? Kai Hao-chan stared at me, his eyes like a venomous snake spitting venom. I, my face wearing a faint smile, smiled and accepted the ring Jiang Yuding offered.